How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review. Today we're going to be reviewing this 2021 Chevy Traverse. Now this Traverse is the LT leather trim, or it's the LT trim with the leather interior. And starting out back in 2021, the original MSRP for one of these was $41,000, with basically how it sits right now. Now for the lower trims, they're actually much cheaper. For, I believe, like the lowest L trim, it started at $29,800. And in 2021, for something that started out at basically just around $30,000, this is a pretty damn good SUV for your money. Now we're going to be talking about basically some of just the differences between this trim and the L trim. And obviously the L trim is not going to come with like the leather interior. That's a given pretty much. It's going to come with like your standard kind of cloth seats. Not as much features and stuff on the infotainment system. Now another like big con that I was found while searching up about these Traverses before doing this video is that a lot of the safety features that are offered in the higher trims aren't actually even accessible in the lower trims, which I feel is kind of silly, because I mean, with a lot of vehicles, the main thing is the safety features. So if you're looking for this as like a first car for your son, daughter, whatever, that might be a concern with like the lower trims. But obviously this LT does have pretty much all the different safety features, has a pretty good safety rating right from you know, the factory. But now getting into the specs, and all the Traverses pretty much in this year, they came with a 3.6 liter 4-valve per cylinder V6, naturally aspirated, not turbo or anything. And all of them were offered with the same exact 9-speed shiftable automatic transmission. Now one thing that I do find quite interesting is that once it's in that L gear or low gear, whatever that stands for, the shift buttons are actually on the side of the shifter, which I've never really seen before in an automatic SUV. Obviously some of them have like paddle shifters, or you know, you can move the stick from side to side and you know, it can go, you know, up and down gears. But this one actually does have like the little buttons on the side, and at first it definitely kind of takes some getting used to, but it is a pretty intuitive design. Very easy to use because your hand's just on it the whole time, and all you kind of have to do is just move your thumb up and down like an inch, and you're going up and down gears, which is pretty nice. Now this one also is the all-wheel drive trim. So the all-wheel drive trim does start at 41, but I didn't specify before. The front-wheel drive leather LT trim actually starts at 35. So not much of a price jump up from like the L, like the starter trim. However, spending that extra $5,000 for this trim with the all-wheel drive drivetrain, that is definitely going to make a difference, a very noticeable difference in crappier weather, you know, heavy rain, snow, whatever. But on a day like today where it's kind of cloudy out, a little bit of rain, it's not going to be really that noticeable. And if you live in like an area like Southern California or Arizona or something like that, where it's like basically no bad weather at all, I would potentially like considering saving some money going with just the front wheel drive trim. But up here in the Northeast, when we get, you know, pretty heavy winters, the all-wheel drive definitely is a plus there. Now I know I listed off some specs about the engine before, but going into the power numbers now, they're pretty much okay. They're basically just standard, kind of what you would see across the board when it comes to a commuting SUV in 2021. It's making 310 horsepower at 6,800 RPMs and 266 foot-pounds of torque at 2,800 RPMs. So not like anything crazy, but definitely enough to jump you out into traffic. And if you're looking to commute with it, it also does produce like decent fuel economy for something that's just a naturally aspirated V6. It's not, you know, hybrid. It doesn't have a turbo or anything like that. And the fuel economy numbers for this 2021 Chevy Traverse, it gets around 18 miles per gallon during city driving and 27 miles per gallon during highway driving, for a combined average of 21 miles per gallon. So again, something you'd expect from this. It's a naturally aspirated V6. It is modern though, and being in like the low 20s, that's basically like industry average when it comes to these naturally aspirated V6s. thing that I really like about this Traverse is that it is definitely it's not a full-size SUV. It's not like a Suburban or Expedition or anything like that, but it does have a hell of a lot of interior space, but it can also tow around 5,000 pounds. That's its max, you know, capacity tow rating from factory. So you can kind of hook up a trailer to this if you want to go hiking with your family or whatever. It could pretty much do everything that is asked of it, of like a normal kind of family, whether your kids have sports or whatever. This particular Traverse, it's a hockey family, so they're always going to hockey games, and they have 2 kids that play hockey, so there's a crap ton of gear in it at all times, and it handles it just fine. And I don't know if these options have changed since then, but in 2021, this Traverse did come with 8 exterior paint color options and 3 different color options for the interior as well. So plenty of different options there. Now, another good highlight about this Traverse is that for its time, for sure, in 2021, the infotainment system has a ton of different features. And again, this is a higher trim, so it's going to come with all those different features, and everything is touchscreen. It's very seamless to operate. One thing that I do find a little bit weird when it comes to just moving around the interior and sticking to these features is on the steering wheel actually are like little baby paddle shifters. Obviously they're not the, you know, paddle shifters that you would think of that actually shift the trans, but they're actually like volume controls and a couple of different like little screen options right here. You have 2 little baby ones to the left and 2 also to the right. And also I do really like with this leather interior just how easy the leather kind of flows into the front, and it's got your typical kind of Chevy design, very reminiscent of this year's or this generation's Camaros. I know it's weird to compare a Traverse to a Camaro, but staying on the same manufacturer, the door handles are very similar to the Camaros, just like the overall lines of the interior and everything, and even the front grille too. The front grille is nice, wide and open, plenty of airflow in there. It's not like it's going to overheat. Again, it's not a turbo car, so it's not like you're really worried about that. But I do like kind of like these slanted headlights and a little bit of an aggressive look in the front. And with this one being black on black with the black wheels, it does look very, very nice. And one thing that I do also love about Chevy's kind of modern design with a lot of their models are the different wheel options that they have. And with this Traverse's wheels, I do, you know, really, really like the design. As I'm editing in the B-roll right now, like you'll see them, and it matches the overall SUV very nicely. And with it being kind of like black on the exterior, and then moving into the interior where pretty much everything is black as well with the black leather. You have some gray leather on the door cards, but everything kind of works together very nicely. So it is a good looking modern SUV. From what I've seen, like some of the reliability ratings for it on different sites, it's kind of mid-tier. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind. It's not the most reliable SUV out there, but at the end of the day, it's not extremely unreliable either. It's pretty predictable. As long as you stay up on maintenance and all the things you're supposed to do, it should be absolutely fine. This current one has just over 70,000 miles on it, and as far as I know, as far as the owners know, they haven't ran into any major issues that, you know, would be red flags for something with just 70,000 miles on it. But anyways, that's pretty much just going to be it for today's video. I'm also going to be releasing the you know, POV driving video, which I normally do basically a day later this gets put on the channel. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see more car reviews in the future, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below. I know it's annoying that every YouTuber says it, but it really does help me out a ton as a smaller car channel here on YouTube. But anyways, that's pretty much just gonna be it for today. Like always, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.